We finally got the full update trailer! This 1.5-minute long video is chock full of so much stuff. Nintendo shows us a lot in such a short amount of time, like usual. So let's look at this trailer frame by frame to see if anything is hiding in plain sight. This first shot sold me. There really isn't anything hidden here. We do see some jack-o'-lantern decorations in the foreground, this really cool light-up spooky arch, this pumpkin on the second tier in the far back, which kinda looks like the pumpkins that we can grow shown later in the trailer, but could also just be a crafting recipe of a normal pumpkin. There is one peeking out from behind the arch as well, though it has a different design than the one on the cliff. This one more closely matches the jack-o'-lanterns. We also see new fencing! These pumpkin iron fences are amazing and match the spookiness really well. We haven't gotten new fencing since May Day with the hedges, so I'm curious how we'll get this DIY recipe. I could see it coming from Nook like last time, unless Jack shows up early and hands us some cool DIYs. Now onto the villager. She's got some devil horns, new face paint and skin color with new eye color, both of which Nintendo shows off the different options a bit later in the trailer, and some spooky clothes. I expect Able Sisters to be loaded up for this holiday, so make sure to check your shop often. We get a couple new Halloween-related reactions as well. I'll be curious if these are used for anything specific with Halloween, or if they're just a cute addition to change things up. But who gives us these reactions? Will we be approached by our villagers like how we've gotten all of our other reactions up until now? Or is there a special character that will approach us with these new emotes? Either way, they're freaking adorable. There's something about a super cute thing trying to be scary that just hits you. Nintendo shows off the inside of Nook's Cranny. Everything seems pretty normal, except the extra summer item spot has returned, but this time with a jack-o'-lantern scarecrow. If it's anything like summer, there'll probably be a couple of different furniture items that cycle through the spot. Like the surfboards, I expect each person to have a different color variation available to them, so make sure you visit your friends to see if they have something you don't. Upon opening the miscellaneous cabinet in Nook's Cranny, we see two new additions. One is Candy, which has the same orange striped look it always has throughout the series. Next to it is probably the pumpkin starter to grow pumpkins. Halloween preparations start in October. In previous games, we had the entire month to purchase candy from the store and stock up for the upcoming holiday. Please, make the candy stockable and let us hold it in our storage. Nintendo, please. I don't want the stuff all over my house. In past games, there was a limited number of candy that you could buy every day. But with that being said, there was a limited number of everything that you could buy in one day. Now we have access to unlimited amounts of everything in the miscellaneous cabinet. I really wonder if candy will be a once per day buying option like in the past, or if it will follow how everything else in the cabinet is sold now. There would kind of be no reason to have to stock up throughout the month though. If it is unlimited, you could just go to Nook's on Halloween and buy all the candy then. No prep needed. I would like it to be limited. It gives you a reason to go on every day. In the next scene, we see the pumpkins growing. There are a few different stages of growth shown. First, the sprout, which seems to have a couple of variations. This front one has 3 leaves, while the one behind it has 4. Looking at the bigger picture, there's a variety of colors and variety of number of pumpkins in each of these squares. Does that mean each purchase of a pumpkin starter will give us a random variation? Will the type of pumpkin starter change each day in the store? Or will we have to visit friends to be able to grow the different colored pumpkins? The next growth stage is this very small leafy pumpkin. Then it continues to these green unripened pumpkins, and finally the fully grown pumpkin. If all these growth stages are here, this means it will take 4 days to fully grow pumpkins. And it matches up with how long it takes flowers to grow, so it makes sense. I saw some people saying that these green ones are just a color variation, but unripe pumpkins can be green. I think they are one part of the growing stage, and only 3 different color variations exist: yellow, orange, and white. In the same scene, we can see a pumpkin placed on top of a barrel in the background. This pumpkin looks like the one growing in the garden. It seems safe to say that this placed pumpkin isn't a crafting recipe, but rather a grown pumpkin that has been placed down. Hope you guys made room for a farm. If not, get going now so you're prepared. The Animal Crossing x Stardew Valley crossover has finally appeared. This does make me wonder if there are certain grades of pumpkins, or if the plants that grow more pumpkins give you extra pumpkins when you harvest them. Or do you just wait longer and the singular pumpkin becomes double or triple pumpkin? So many questions, not enough answers. The trailer also shows the player pulling out their watering can to water the pumpkins. Do they need to be watered to grow? Or are they like flowers and need to be watered to crossbreed? Are these color variations actually hybrid pumpkins and you have to breed pumpkin starters to get pumpkin hybrids? Do they work like red turnips did in past Animal Crossing games where you have to water them every day or they die? I feel like Nintendo has backed away from the wilting of plants mechanic in New Horizons, so this last question might not be accurate. But if they are showing the pumpkins being watered in the trailer, it's for a reason. Maybe they need water to grow, but if you skip a day, they don't wilt. Rather, they just don't continue to grow until watered again. God, there's so many pumpkin questions. What? Give us more, man. It would be nice if Leaf would sell and continue selling the pumpkin starters throughout the year. They'll probably end up disappearing from Nook's Cranny after autumn has left us. We see the player pick a pumpkin and place it in the pocket with the rest of the plant left behind. Does that mean these 4-leaf starters are the ones that have already been picked, and the 3 leaves are new ones that have just been planted? After you pick the single pumpkin, does this allow for 2 pumpkins to grow next time, then 3? I just can't figure out this multiple pumpkin thing. God. But it does seem like the plant will start the growth cycle over after harvesting. Next, we see the player crafting with pumpkins. This, of course, was an obvious next step after growing pumpkins. But I'm excited to see the vast amount of spooky pumpkin furniture that we can make. It already looks 100 times better than Bunny Day furniture, so I am totally down for this. I don't think I'll get as sick of pumpkins as I did with the horrible colorful eggs. We see the player place the furniture item they just crafted, but let's look in the background. There's a pine cone and an acorn chilling on some furniture, but we also see the iron pan that we can craft, which has been customized to add food to it. Okay, if you don't like spoilers, mute this video and count to 10 starting now. Crossing Channel actually pointed this out. Could this be a reference to the future cooking options? We can finally grow vegetables as per data mines, so the cooking has to be accurate too, right? Is this Nintendo's cheeky way of throwing cooking at us? Alright, spoilers over. In the next part, we can see this girl has done some work. There's a Halloween-themed candy item on the iron frames. The player is placing down the same scarecrow we saw at Nook's earlier, which lights up, by the way, very cool. And there's hay next to the crafting table. At first, I thought this was the hay bed just customized, but the spot looks like it's a lot smaller than the 2 square space that the hay bed needs. Is it a new recipe for a smaller hay furniture item? It seems to take up just as much room as this singular bush to the right of it. Otherwise, there's nothing too crazy about this scene. Nintendo then shows us some of the costumes we can purchase from the Able Sisters. I am excited to see all of these costume ideas that the developers have decided to bless us with. In New Leaf, we saw the addition of Halloween masks. I fully expect these to return to New Horizons, and I want them to go all out with the costumes. Oh my god, I'm so excited. We then see the different skin tone and eye color options available to us to really pull our costume together. Have fun mixing these in with your style. Hopefully they stay after the holiday is over so we can look spooky all year long. The trailer gives us a sneak peek into the actual Halloween holiday. It will run from 5 p.m. to midnight on October 31st. We see 3 villagers all dressed up with devil horns on their heads. Look how freaking cute Kiki looks, my goodness. The resident services building is decorated to perfection with these twinkly lights. It's nice to see this all done up for once. The Anima villagers are looking cute in their devil horns, but these ones aren't dressed up to trick you into thinking they're Jack like in past games. Does that mean the holiday event is getting a complete revamp? Before, you would have to run away from fake Jacks chasing you around your town. If they caught you, you had to give them candy. If you didn't have any candy, they would turn your clothes moldy. So, what could Halloween possibly have in store for us this time? Also, can we just look at how this jack-o'-lantern waves in the wind? These new items are amazing and so well designed. They throw that spoopy energy right at you. We finally get a look at this hay bale properly. It does seem to be a smaller version of the hay bed. Possibly acts like a stool? We see a couple more new animal villagers in the plaza, wearing their devil horns, as well as Jack himself. The trailer shows the player approaching him to talk to him as he introduces himself. And that's it. We see nothing more of Jack. I guess the specifics of how the event will play out are going to stay secret. The trailer shows off a cool new scary reaction and villagers reacting back to you. The caption does say, have fun giving out candy and seeing costumes. Does that mean we'll see more than a Halloween-themed shirt and devil horns like in the trailer? What is the incentive to giving out candy? Will we get exclusive spooky furniture from our neighbors? Or maybe more spooky reactions? The player talks to Lucky, or maybe Lucky approached the player, not completely sure what happened before this, and he asks for candy. We then see the player hand Lucky candy, and then it cuts. They really aren't giving us any information about this holiday. I wonder if we'll get another trailer closer to Halloween, explaining more in detail how the holiday works. Or if we'll just have to experience it to figure it out. You're being such a tease, dang it, Nintendo. The trailer shows off an update to the Nook Link app, which will allow us to quick access all our reactions without having to go through the in-game menu. We can see the name of the 2 new reactions, Scare and Haunt. This image is circulating around Reddit and Twitter. It looks as though there are 4 tiers that you can place furniture on. There's some kind of pumpkin in this hole at the bottom, which would mean that the players are technically standing on the 2nd tier, and we'd be able to see the 3rd and 4th tier in the background. These edges look more like a river edge rather than a tier edge though. But what the heck is the pumpkin doing in the river? Can we decorate the river? Or is the pumpkin just glitched from this being a developer island to test out different mechanics, and the water was replaced with a pumpkin? I'm not really too sure what's going on here. It would be cool if Nintendo gave us another tier to decorate, but I don't really see that happening. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Also in the background, we see a player with Jack's head as a mask. It could be a crafting recipe, but it could also be a reward for doing whatever you have to do during Halloween. Maybe if you give out enough candy, Drac will give you prizes at certain points? I don't really know. We could sit here and speculate any possibility all day. We'll just have to wait and see. Finally, they let us know that the next update will happen in late November, just in time for Thanksgiving in the US. And that's it. I'm excited for what's to come. The new furniture looks amazing, especially blowing in the wind. I'm glad we aren't finding pumpkins all over the place, like Bunny Day. Instead, it seems like we're going to be required to log in frequently to find recipes, buy candy, and grow pumpkins. I'm excited to have a new mechanic. I hope this update brings new motivation to players, especially those who've put the game down for a bit. Found anything I missed? I would love to hear it. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Like the surfboards, I expect each My dogs don't like Halloween. Probably because I dress Panda up as a Wookiee every year. Not a Wookiee. Ewoks. Oh my god. We dress her up like an Ewok every year. And it has like a hood that has ears, but like the hood's too big. I'm talking too much. This can't go at the end. This is far too long.